Alright guys, it's been a while. It's been about a week since I've put a video up. Been super busy. Work, life, cleaning the house. Doing a lot of house cleaning lately. Getting a lot of stuff out. Getting it kind of cleaned up and gone through. Took a bunch of stuff to Salvation Army, Goodwill. Donated a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna try and get more on top of this ElCamino, get some more videos posted. I did work on it a little bit throughout the week. Let's see where it's. I'm getting it welded up. I'm trying not to weld it too fast. I don't want to warp anything. Just got to go back through probably another couple rounds of welding, and it'll be welded solid, and then I can grind it down. I can also put a patch behind this and tan a hole, weld that up. Started working on the side skirt pieces over here. A little bit of a dilemma with these. I've got them this far, and I took pictures along the way because I didn't have time to tape it all. So I'll show you a couple pictures of what I got. The first picture here is just when I took the side piece as it was and I cleaned it up with a wire wheel because there was some rust behind it. So I cleaned it all up real good and was pretty happy with it at that point. I decided that I needed to cut that piece of inner structure off so that I can see what was behind it and clean up any rust that was behind it. It's typically where dirt and leaves and stuff fall, is right behind that spot, and it tends to rust the fender out, which is probably the case in this. So I popped that piece off. Yep, sure enough, the Bondo that's on the outside of the fender also continues through a hole and goes into the inside of the fender where this big rust hole is. And you can see some of the rust that was back behind that brace. So what I have to figure out now is how big the hole is, how nasty it is, whether this piece is even savable. It's not covering the whole bottom of the fender, so I'm pretty sure I can save it, especially for what I'm using it for. I'm going to have to build it up into a box so it can have a latch for the front as it comes back to latch into. So it was a decision on whether to just make a whole bottom section of fender or use this one, and I'm going to use this one to start the process. Grinding all the Bondo out of the back side. You can see the one fender has a pretty good sized hole in it, but after it's cleaned up I can put a patch there, weld it up solid, paint it from both sides, really protect it with some seam sealer, and I think it'll be okay, at least for the time period that I own the car. I don't know if I'm going to sell this ever. I have no idea. You never know what's in the future. So the last picture there is the two side pieces next to each other with a rust mort anti-rust paint. If you believe in this stuff, I don't think there's any true way to cure rust, but this is going to help the process. So I sprayed it on there after I cleaned all the surface rust off of the wire wheel, sprayed the rust mort on there, and let it set for a couple days. So it's kind of where we're at right now. Back to the bigger picture. I've got the hood sitting on there. I've got some wedges to kind of set the gaps, set the look of it. It's not a perfect gap right now, but it gets me kind of close to where I want to be. I also use some wedges here to prop this up so that the gap on the side to the door would be a good gap. Yes, Candy, yes. You're a good dog. Go lay down. The wedges are just pieces of plywood I ripped off a table saw. I also figured out where the windshield wiper holes need to be. Since the windshield wipers are from the Tahoe, and the way the Tahoe is made, the hood stops back here and has a big plastic cowl panel that goes on. I'm going to have to cut out this area in the hood right here and right here so that the windshield wipers have a place to pop up, because they're not going to sit up underneath the hood. they're gonna have to sit here. This is basically resting on that pin to the windshield wipers right now. So I've got to cut a chunk out so they have a place to swing. This is just a starting point. It might have to get a little bit bigger. After I get the starting point kind of cut out and they're fitting in there, I can swing them a little bit and see how far they're gonna go. But I mean, that's a good chunk of area I'm gonna have to cut out. I don't know how I'm gonna have to reinforce that, but I guess I'll figure that out as I'm going. It does look pretty good right now though, the way it's sitting. It's sitting level, sitting straight, where it lines up with the doors. It's good there. And of course the bottom, you can move the bottom in and out as you're going. But it's what it is for now. I did make that new snake cage. This is the old snake cage in the background here. You can see how monstrous this thing is. It's got a door. On this? Yeah, it's on that side. There's this piece of carpet. It's got a big door, a latch you can go into and clean it. It's sitting on its side, so that's the way it would sit in your house. With a ledge there, the ladder usually hangs down so the snake can climb up the ladder and up to that top shelf up there. I put out the word to my friends and whoever might want it. I'm not getting anybody coming back with it, probably because it's so big. So I might have to just break it down and dispose of it. But that is the monstrosity of a snake cage I had. And I think it's a couple videos back, you can see the video of me making the snake cage that I have now, which is a lot smaller, easier to clean, easier to maintain. It doesn't take up a whole room of my house. So I'm gonna get back on this weekend, finish welding it. I'm gonna start with these, get these going on the car, get some more gaps set, think about how I'm gonna make the hinge for the front end, and I'll get another video up as soon as I can. Until then, be patient. It's taking a long time to get all this stuff going, and I'm not just working on the car. Wish I was sometimes, but there's a lot of stuff going on inside the house, and this spring there's going to be a lot more landscaping going on. So while it's dumping rain on us during the winter time, the car is going to be a priority. Alrighty, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, wait for some more videos to come out. Hopefully I have more coming out more often. Tell your friends and family if they're interested in stuff like what we're doing here. And I will see you later. Until next time, guys, stay safe. Take it easy.